Model railroading is not a cheap hobby, and it seems that it just keeps getting more expensive. People often look back fondly to the catalogs of the past, reminiscing over the seemingly inexpensive trains of the day. But were the trains of the past truly a better price? In this video, we will compare Lionel trains from several different eras, and adjust pricing for inflation to see how things stack up. Are Lionel trains really more expensive than they used to be? Let's start by comparing some basic starter sets. A train set with a simple loop of track, basic engine, and a couple of cars have been a constant in Lionel catalogs since almost the beginning of the company. Let's take a look at Lionel's 1947 catalog. On page 6 and 7 we see several starter sets. The cheapest set, featuring a basic 242, tank car, gondola, and caboose, is priced at just $22.50. But this number changes significantly when adjusted for inflation, where $22.50 in 1947 turns into $324.35 in 2025. Moving on from 1947, we look at 1964. In the waning years of the post-war era, Lionel was focused on cutting costs and lowering prices. Lionel's basic option, including a simple plastic 040 and unlettered gondola and caboose, was priced at a low of $11.95 or $123.92. For the 1947 adjusted price of $324.35, a comparable set would be number 11470, a 5-car steam set at $29.95. Already, we see even the most basic Lionel options jump significantly once inflation is factored in. Jumping forward to 1996, we find a comparison in set number 6-11735, the New York Central Flyer. This set is similar to the 1947 set, featuring a die-cast locomotive, a flat car, boxcar, and caboose. In 1996, this set was priced at $189.95. Once adjusted for inflation, we get $389.18, a bit more expensive than the comparative price of the 1947 set. Moving on to 2011, we find the Scout. Based on the starter sets of the post-war era, the set features a die-cast 242 locomotive, as well as gondola, hopper, and caboose. The set also includes Lionel Fast Track over the basic tubular track offered previously. The catalog price for this set is $199.99, not much change from 1996. Adjusted for inflation, we get a price of $285.81, less expensive than even the 1947 set. Lastly, we look to the present, with Lionel's 2025 Volume 1 catalog. With this, it was a bit more difficult to find a comparable set, but towards the rear of the catalog we find the Pennsylvania Keystone set, by far the most advanced set shown so far, featuring a larger die-cast 080 equipped with smoke, line chief, and rail sounds. The set also includes a flat car, boxcar, and caboose. The set is priced at $399.99. Although the modern set is the most expensive by a good portion, there are several factors to consider. As time goes on, there is a somewhat consistent theme of each set becoming more advanced, with the modern set being the most advanced by far. But on the other hand, the older sets are considered to be more robust in quality, with the post-war sets being produced in the United States. Moving on, let's compare one of Lionel's most famous locomotives, the EMD F3, through the years. The F3 was first catalogued in 1948, available in a freight set as either New York Central or Santa Fe. The sets included a boxcar, operating coal dump car, tank car, and caboose. These sets were catalogued at $65. This modest price of $65 turns into a healthy $867 once adjusted for inflation. It seems that the supposed cheap prices of yesteryears may just be a myth, but let's continue on our comparison. In 1964, Lionel offered a set headed up by a pair of Santa Fe F3s, hauling a boxcar, gondola, auto carrier, hopper, and caboose. This set was also priced at $65, becoming $674.04 when adjusted for inflation. Again, we see the price drop between 1948 and 1964, partly due to Lionel cutting costs to combat the decline of Lionel Trains' popularity, but also the result of cost-cutting measures taken within the product itself, such as simplifying the F3 tooling. In 1996, we find another F3 set, although this set is a passenger set, so we can expect it to be comparably more expensive. On page 6 and 7 of the 1996 Corporation catalog, we find a Santa Fe AB pair and a 4-car passenger set. Combining the items gives us a price of $1,274.95, a big leap from before. Adjust for inflation, this total reaches $2,612.18. There are several factors which contribute to this higher price. Again, a passenger set was likely to be pricier, but also the engines heading up the set represent Lionel's most advanced of the time, with Trainmaster command control and rail sounds, but still, the price is an enormous jump from previous adjusted prices. Next, we come to 2012. where as part of the post-war inspired line, we find set number 6-38358, Illinois Central Freight Set, including an Illinois Central AB pair, a reefer, boxcar, auto carrier, and bay window caboose. This set brings us back to the post-war roots with Pullmore motors and conventional control. In 2012, this set was priced at $599.99, or $840.07 when adjusted for inflation. Very close in price to the 1948 set. And lastly, we come to the present, where things have come full circle with the recreation of the 1948 New York Central F3 set on page 16 and 17 of the 2025 Volume 1 catalog. This set includes an AA pair of New York Central F3 locomotives, boxcar, automatic coal dump car, tank car, and caboose. Almost exactly comparable to the 1948 counterpart, we see a price rise to $1,200, greater than most adjusted prices. With these engines, pricing seems to heavily depend on the rendition and features of items included. Again, we see a trade-off between build quality and tech, although we do see an increase in price for something very comparable in features to its post-war counterpart. Now, before we compare Lionel's top of the line for each year, I want to first compare how the price of a simple boxcar has changed over the years. 1948 gives us the 2454 boxcar, a smaller sized car featuring die-cast trucks and a plastic body. The individual price is listed at $4.50. Adjusted for inflation, we get $60.02, much higher than I was expecting. I may have to judge Lionel's modern rolling stock pricing more fairly. 1964, number 6464-735 was available for separate sale. This New Haven boxcar, as part of the iconic 6464 line, was larger in proportion, and it featured plastic trucks and a plastic body. It was available for $5.95. Once adjusted for inflation, we get $61.70, almost identical to the previous car. Looking for a similar car in 1996, we find number 6-19284, a Northern Pacific boxcar based on the traditional 6464 tooling. It featured similar plastic instructions to the 1964 car, but was equipped with updated die-cast sprung trucks. Listed in 1996 at a reasonable $44.95, the price turns into $92.10, almost $100 for a simple boxcar. Moving on to 2012, we can find a similar car in number 6-29978, a special boxcar decorated for the Railroad Museum of Pennsylvania. This car is basically identical in construction to the 1996 car, but is now priced at $64.99 or $90.94. Actually slightly less expensive than 1996, but by a negligible amount. Looking into the present, we have number 2528510, a boxcar decorated for Lionel's 125th anniversary. It is again identical to the previous two cars, with plastic body and die-cast sprung trucks. The price for a car of this caliber is now $99.99. Surprisingly, we see that the price of a simple Lionel boxcar actually has not changed significantly in recent history. Although it is a jump from the post-war prices, when adjusted for inflation, a boxcar from the 90s and a boxcar from today are very close in price. At last, we will look at Lionel's top of the line, the Hudson. We will look at the years 1950, 1964, 1991, 2010, and 2025. For Lionel's golden anniversary in 1950, Lionel brought back the scale Hudson, although stripped down detail-wise. The 773 Hudson was the top steamer in 1950, made available for separate sale at the price of $50. Once adjusted for inflation, we get the much more opulent price of $667. Lionel would reissue the scale Hudson in the early 1960s, but the engine was stripped down even more, paired with a much more simple tender. The 1964 catalog lists the 773 at $85, or $881.44. For the first time, we see the 1964 price topping the previous years. Moving to 1991, we find the scale Hudson reissued for the first time since before World War II in complete form. Updated with rail sounds, the engine was priced at $1,295. Adjusted for inflation, we get the massive figure of $3,056.51. That's a lot for a singular locomotive. Moving to 2010, Lionel once again reissued the 700D scale Hudson, now reimagined as part of the Vision line, Lionel's best of the best. This 21st century scale Hudson now featured legacy control, updated rail sounds, and a collection of other advanced features such as swinging bell. This impressive engine was offered for $1,600. Adjusted for inflation, this becomes $2,358.77, a good portion less than the adjusted price of the 1991 Hudson. In 2025, Lionel has once again brought back the scale Hudson as part of the Vision line, complete with the top-of-the-line features as well as an updated tooling to physically bring the model up to modern standards. The 2025 Hudson is priced at $1,800. Comparative to the price of the previous Hudson rendition when adjusted for inflation, this newest rendition seems to be a much better deal than the sticker shock of flipping open the 2025 Volume 1 catalog for the first time. Now, it's important to understand that comparing pricing of similar items isn't always a perfect comparison. Many different aspects affect pricing and value, such as consumer interest, features, tooling cost, and many more factors. The point of this video wasn't to play down the pricing of modern Lionel, but to simply help understand it. The fact is, model railroading has always been expensive, and yes, overall, even when adjusted for inflation, things have gotten increasingly expensive over time. But I don't see this as much as Lionel wholesale increasing prices, but instead, I see a shift in the top of the line. As time goes on, Lionel continues to make more advanced items, and therefore more expensive items. It's easy to directly compare the top of the line of 1947 to the top of the line of 2025 and point out the staggering price changes, but in reality, a more nuanced evaluation is necessary to consider all factors and features. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at how Lionel's pricing compares through the years. I found it very interesting to research. If you did enjoy it, I ask that you like the video and leave a comment below. And if you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe to my channel. Thanks.